Welcome, welcome on a Tuesday. Welcome to all my tea sippers and uplifters. This is Miss Uplifting Tea joining you on a terrific Tuesday. As the title of the video says, we are here to discuss a potential candidate for public office by the name of Mr. Andrew Caldwell. Now, if you are unfamiliar with Mr. Caldwell, I will give you a moment to either grab your cell phone and Google it right quick, or you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride because I'm going to take you down a quick trip through memory lane so we can get familiar with who Mr. Caldwell claims to be and what Mr. Caldwell is currently up to. So, as usual, let me issue our copyright disclaimer that all materials and productions that are presented during this live presentation are the strict and sole ownership of the original content creators. Anything used in this video is used for educational purposes under the fair use doctrine that is allowed. So now that we've got that copyright information out of the way, let's get started. So, first of all, as always, I would like to say thank you to all the subscribers, new and old. If you are here, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for stopping by. And if you have not subscribed, please do so at this time. So, we're here to talk about Mr. Caldwell. Now, you may recognize him from the purple shirt and yellow bow tie picture. Well, that was quite some time ago, and Mr. Caldwell has actually been rather busy for the last 10 years. So, he's running for office out of St. Louis. He's running to be a council member for the city of St. Louis. And normally, I wouldn't necessarily care about a local election, but this particular candidate is one that I think as a community, should discuss. So, if you are unfamiliar, he is the viral sensation from 2014 who went viral for the following video. There is a clip of him walking up to the front of the church. He stops and says the following words: I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men's no more. I said I like women. I said women, I am not gay. I will not date a man. I will not carry a purse. I will not put on makeup. I will not love a woman. And he went viral. So forgive me for my Andrew Caldwell impression, but that's the best I got, ladies and gentlemen. So after that, he basically was a pretty busy bee. He became very famous. That video has millions of views. He is quite famously a meme, more or less. His sounder is probably played all over videos, all over the internet, far and wide, all over the globe. And so he was able to parlay his viral moment into some celebrity and success. So he went on what can only be described as a I ain't gay no more tour. And so, although I didn't keep up with Mr. Caldwell during these times, clearly the people on the internet did. And this is what they had to say. So in 2018, so that's 4 years after his viral moment, an article was penned by a blogger. And this is just a brief synopsis of what it says. Enough is enough. The shenanigans have gone on far too long. It's painfully obvious that you have serious, and I mean serious mental issues. It is apparent your church, the Kojic Church, is taking advantage of your disability. They are using you to promote their homophobic agenda. So let's call a thing and put it out there. So if you would like to read um what they had to say about it, I am going to just continue to talk slowly so you can pause the video and read what it had to say. They go on to say, I actually sat here for the past few days while working from home and watched a lot of your video, just trying to get an understanding of what the F is going on with you. Says, shout out to the Usher Board and the Heathen Central on YouTube. All I saw and heard was a bunch of craziness, delusions, stunts, shows, lies, unstableness, and mispronounced words, which is a frequent staple in his commentary. This stuff is ridiculous. This is what I constantly heard from you in your videos. You still want people to think of you as delivered from the homosexual. Your words, not mine. And then he goes on to discuss some of the other things that he frequently spent a lot of time. So he was on this tour. And then it also goes on to say that he was supposedly doing odd jobs. Um, it says in the same video you quoted the three different salaries that they're going to pay you. First, you said it was 40,000. Then you said it was 30,000, and then you said it was 100,000. And that is the problem. You are not even a good liar. If you are going to be a compulsive liar, at least be a good liar. And that is how he landed himself here down at the community. Because here, as I say, we don't do gossip, we do growth. So I made sure I very purposefully, you can read it on the screen, left out certain words that the author used. But Mr. Caldwell is a tale of a viral sensation gone bad. Kind of like that skit where Kermit the Frog says, there will be no craziness, no slapstick, no silliness. And then Fozzie the Bear comes along and hits him in the face with a pie. See, whereas we, the community, desire to have serious discussions, to engage in serious dialogue, to raise serious issues that are affecting not only the African American community, but poor people, disenfranchised people, marginalized people all across the country. And then we have the Fozzie Bears of the world, the Candace Owens, the Andrew Caldwells, the Byron Donalds, the clowns of the community that want to come play in our face with a pie in our eye. And that is absolutely unacceptable. And if you don't think someone like this can win, if you don't think someone like this can gain access to power, I'd like to share with you this, because people will give validity to foolishness. So let's go over to one of our reputable papers of sorts, Black Enterprise, and see what they had to say about the candidacy of Mr. Caldwell. Delivered social media star Andrew Caldwell announced his campaign for St. Louis commitment. We are cheering for you, Andrew. April 1st, Sherelle Burke. Now, I don't know if Ms. Burke is an actual journalist or she is one of these compilers, as I've come to call them, people who just gather stuff from the internet and put their byline on it. These are not people who usually have contacts. These are people who are not real reporters. They ain't gonna make a call. They're gonna go through the internet just like you and me. They're gonna put a bunch of stuff together, and because of their employer, it is going to be considered journalism. So let's keep going on about Mr. Caldwell. He's going from the internet to Capitol Hill after announcing his candidacy for commitment for the 9th Ward in St. Louis City, Missouri. Now, this comes shortly after he recently lost his radio job. Now, if you like all the machinations going on with the radio job and his loss of radio job and possible lawsuits that are coming from that, yes, it's a person, another person, I should say, running for public office who is also embroiled and entangled in lawsuits, loss of employment, and a host of other controversy. And yet, they have decided with full confidence and clarity that they want to run for public office. They want to lead people who are marginalized, who are suffering, who are being harmed by public policy. These are the people we're supposed to value and uplift. The viral social media star made the announcement on Instagram saying he's always been about the people and the people's businesses. And so that was his announcement on Instagram for his candidacy. We had a presidential candidate announce his candidacy on X. How did that go for that young man? And he was very well funded and quite famous. Okay, so there it is. There's the announcement. There's your little internet announcement. Say he seems to be taking his new love for politics seriously, the old school way. He recently posted a picture with St. Louis residents after knocking on doors for support. Spent the afternoon knocking on doors and sharing with their community members. Wow. He shows up one time on Instagram and we get the love for politics seriously and going old school. There's a difference between a compiler and a journalist, and that's a video for another day. One photo is all it took. There is no set definition of responsibilities for a committee man or woman, but according to the St. Louis government website, each party is selected for the purpose of representing and acting for the party in the interim between party conventions. So his election date is August 6th. And his was met with much applause from supporters. Wow. You on the streets representing during the protests and taking people to task. Wow. This is absolutely insane. There have been an influx of young leaders looking to revitalize the city of St. Louis. State Senator Stephen Roberts, Democrat of St. Louis, the youngest black state senator in Missouri history, recently introduced a bill to create a program incentivizing the conversion of desolate office spaces into residential spaces. After finding 20% of commercial spaces in downtown St. Louis are vacant. All righty. So here we have somebody who is actually a serious politician who is proposing real legislation alongside someone like this. But I just want to there's a reason why I actually clipped the end of this article. What is your reaction to this article? 3 down votes. So shout out to the people from the community who had enough sense, even though the person on this byline did not, to say this is a bunch of foolishness. So yeah, Black Enterprise, we're calling you to task too, because Black media, especially our legacy media, our traditional media, needs to go back to hiring real journalists who have to get on the phone, make contacts, do something other than click and tap with their Twitter fingers and thumbs in order to secure the information that people need. But again, that's for another video. So again, why this matters to me, if you don't know this bright and beautiful shining face, this is Mayor Tiffany Henyard. And as the clip from The Simpsons famously shows from Enron's ride of broken dreams, those people got on that ride thinking they were going to be rich. And if you don't know the story of Enron, you should go and Google that one. It is quite a tale. So this is Mayor Henyard. And if you don't know Mayor Henyard, she calls her the people's super mayor. That's from her website. She is currently the duly elected mayor of Dalton, Illinois. Now, if you have heard of Mayor Tiffany Henyard, then you are probably going to recognize the fact that her poor leadership has led to the trustees, that is the councilmen, the committee people, to call for a federal investigation. And just as an update to this current story, they have recently hired a investigator to probe some of her ongoings. So I want to give a shout out to the people who have been on this story from the beginning. So if you don't follow them, please do. Also, there is a potential SA complaint that may also have ties to her as well as another council member. So I am going to have a very short, quick break to enjoy a little bit of what it sounds like if you don't do your job. So I just want to say this. For all of those thinking that this is some kind of disparagement or a rebuke or repudiation of leadership, that is absolutely not true. Because real Black leaders do exist. As a matter of fact, the Black leaders that do exist probably had a parent a lot like Papa Pope. Now, we know that Papa Pope was problematic and so was his precious baby girl. But when he said this and when she responded like that, everybody in our community felt that. Or I should say, a very large segment of our community felt that. Did I not raise you for better? How many times have I told you, you have to be what? If I call my mom on the phone right now on my cell phone. And I say, Mom, what did you tell us when we were growing up? That if we wanted to get half as far, we had to be what? Twice as good. So, yes, real black leaders do exist. We have black leaders like Brandon Scott, who won his election for the mayor of Baltimore. They understand the job, they understand their commitment to the people that they have been empowered to lead. They are not on the internet being a internet viral social gossip blogger turned politician. They are seriously committed to understanding public policy, to understanding how we fund government, to understanding the things that prevent progress, and how you sometimes have to partner and compromise because no one walks away getting everything they want. They understand the job. There are lots of them. They are everywhere. Well, not lots of them, but there are enough of them. They are everywhere. But if you are not serious, we should no longer have to support you and your antics. So this must stop. This is not okay. We are not going to allow people to keep coming and putting pie in our face when we are telling them that there will be no craziness, no slapstick, and no silliness tonight. We are done. So, as far as I'm concerned, to hell with grifters, liars, scammers, and clowns. Bye. We're just done. There's a lot of people with no brains doing a whole lot of talking. Would you vote for people like this? Would you vote for people like this? Would you vote for a clown? Would you vote for a criminal? Stop it. No, you wouldn't, especially if they look like that. They could be nice, like Mr. Lecker, put on a suit. We've seen the end of that movie. Or they could be a full out nut job. You're not voting for that. So if you wouldn't vote for that, then I need the people of St. Louis and the people all around the country, no matter where you are. Your local elections are some of the most important things they do because your mayor and that city council decides who is your chief of police. It's one of their main jobs, hiring, firing that person. That person decides who gets suspended and who gets fired on your police force. That person decides to give the union unmitigated power to, once a person passes their probationary period, to never face accountability for harming citizens. I wouldn't vote for these people, and I wouldn't vote for Andrew Caldwell either. But hey, we're all mad here. He is one of those people who is highly inflammatory. He is incredibly virulent in his speech, very derogatory, very angry. And it just begs the question, why? If you ever achieve the success you claimed you always want, he loves to tell us about how he was homeless. And shout out to the people who were able, who were unhoused, who were able to achieve some measure of success. That is never to be pooped on. That is never to not be celebrated. But the question becomes, now that you have your success, now that you are the person that is in a position to help others, what are you actually doing? And the answer usually is not much, but stuff in your own bag. So you lost your job at the radio station. Oh, running for councilman. So thank you as always. Those are the links to the copyright, any of the sources that I used today. So again, you can go ahead on and pause the screen if you'd like to find out. Because here, like I said, we are about growing the community. We are about growing better leaders. We're about growing better humans. I want every man, woman, and child here in these United States to have a life of power and purpose without being pissed on by petty, petulant, or the powerful. I would like for us all to have real life and liberty. And there are forces that are constantly working against it. And we cannot have leadership that is piss poor. That just has to not be a thing. So I have kept you for 20 minutes. I thank you as always for joining me. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to leave you with what I tell you every single time I get a chance to spend any time with you. I hope blessings chase you down. I hope trouble never comes your way. I need you to level up. There is purpose and powers within you that the community needs. And as always, be safe. And when you have the opportunity to be kind, please be that. People are hurting and they need a little grace. Take care and have a terrific Tuesday, y'all.